I'll be right back. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hilk empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things, just gathering up all my own data that I've collected in all my years, and then I share my conclusions here. I believe in an all things possible multi-universe, because the way I look at it, everybody on this planet, regardless of what they are, their vibrational frequency, they all collectively take their part, sum of all averages. So you take everybody on the planet, every being, every energy field, and you take what their vibrational frequency is, how they behave. Are they living for their ego? Easing God out, just living for themselves. I'm gonna live that best life and do all the things I want to do, and everybody else piss on you, right? Or are you gonna live from spirit? You know, see something, say something. You know, don't cause harm with your words or your hands. And right now we're sitting. You know, most people, the sum of all averages is sitting. You know, more than 50.00009% in lower vibrational frequency, and a direct result of that. Things how people want to know about normal. People are worried about normal. They're gonna have a real hard time because there's no normal. Normal doesn't exist. Everybody on this planet's is bringing to the table the experience that they want to have. And people, you got a lot of people that don't know how to do stuff, that are standing up, going, "Do what we say." And I'm looking around at all these bureaucrats, and I'm like asking myself, have you ever changed a tire? Have you ever done an oil change? You know, where are the practical skills? You just collecting data, you're just doing what you're told. People are telling you what to think, and then you go out and tell you be the parrot to go out to tell the population on how they should think and how they should act. And is that how it is? Rest in peace, customer service. Rest in peace. I had to call AAA this morning, and because I live far out, I live a ways out of town, so it's just easier to call AAA, have them come get it, and then I just need to get a ride into town to pick it up. And so I called AAA, and this guy named Emmanuel or something like that. Ooh, brother. He was so freaking. I mean, I have a rapport with people on the phone. We could cut it up, you know, have a nice positive exchange, but I don't know if this dude didn't, frickin' emasculated himself already before he picked up the phone with me or what the deal was. But I talk on my headphone and I speak from my gut and immediately I could already tell he was a douche. He was just he's just there to do his job, I don't gotta be, I don't even gotta be civil. I could be rude. And if I don't, I know what these control freaks are like is they don't feel like they have power in their life. They're very scared about a situation. So then they go out to work and then somebody calls and then they find their power by treating the person less than. I've seen it my whole life, and if I'm not careful in my spiritual practice and disciplines, I can freaking go right there and act just like him. I just understand the consequences of it, because it comes with consequence. And so I'm talking to the guy, and I said, could you change the address in the system? I tried to do it before I called you, and he misunderstood what I said right off the bat. He got my address wrong. I corrected him, and he still transposed the numbers. And then twice, once after I explained to him that I was on a headset, I wasn't yelling. I just wanted to make sure he could hear me. Even after I said that, he still threatened to hang up on me. I wonder how many people are stranded someplace because they called AAA, and then the person on the other end of the phone, because it's probably not AAA, it's probably a call center someplace, and they contract out to AAA. It's probably what it really is. And this old boy, did it freaking like he just wanted to take it out on me, and that's what he tried to do. He said, "If you keep yelling, I'm gonna terminate this call." And I even took him off a speakerphone after the second time and put him on speaker. And he said, but what happened is at the end of the call, he said, "Is there anything else I can do for you today?" I said, "Yes, please put me through to your supervisor." And so he did. He put me on hold for some time, And I just have been taking stuff for too long, and I'm not taking it anymore. I'm just not. So his supervisor gets on the phone. Thank goodness it's a woman. I didn't need another machismo. I say, ma'am, I just wanted to let you know that I think that your employee manuals he might need a little additional training. You see, I'm not your neurotypical. I think different than other people. If it makes you feel better, it's autism. If that will put some veil of understanding and compassion on me, there you go. I said, so the man, he kept saying, I said, I wasn't yelling at him, and he threatened to terminate the call twice. So maybe you could explain to him that not everybody is like him, and that not everybody is gonna act like him. And a lot of times people are gonna act different than what he wants to. But as an employee, he has a job to do, and hanging up on people, that ain't the job that I don't think he's paid to do. I said a lot, and she's like, yeah, and she's listening, right? And then at one point I said, I've come across a lot of men in my life that don't like strong women. Weak men don't like strong women. They like to put them in their place because, oh Lord, they might be subservient in their intellect. Oh Lord, is there worse things in the world to happen? Come on, Beanie. Come up here, buddy. Come on, Beanie. Come on. Good boy, Beanie. So she said she was agreeing with me. She was agreeing with me. See, because I say things because there's how the world is, and then there's the people that like to get everybody else to fall in line to portray a version of the world that makes them comfortable. Fuck that. My mommy and daddy didn't pat and circle my ass, didn't give me pats on my ass the whole time I was growing up. So you know what I had to do? I had to learn to self-soothe. So now all these other little mental minis out there that feel indignant, feel like life is passing you by and you don't have any control and all of these things that compel you to take it out on other people to make yourselves feel better, you're going to have a real hard time. And it doesn't matter what you do to me. It doesn't matter how you inconvenience my life. I believe in all things divine. So if it's not for me anyway. Well, I appreciate it more if things weren't for me, if it was just by natural design, not just because some LD, lint dick, is going to decide that, they're going to put me in my place. I'm here to teach people that nobody has a right to put anybody in anybody's place, me included. Thy will, not mine, be done. Thy will, not mine. The will of good orderly direction. All right. The positive part is the AAA truck driver, he'd been here before, and we always have a real nice conversation. We have a pretty good conversation, and he's like, you're good people. And I'm like, thanks, man. I think you're good people, too. Sev, I think, is his name, That's the thing, is like people are purposeful. I've seen it my whole entire life. I've seen people where they can go, where people have shown up to others in a position of vulnerability where they need some kind of help. And they don't ask God, and then the person that they're asking is in a position to help, and then you can see ego, spirit, ego, spirit. I'm going to help, I'm going to hinder, I'm going to help, I'm going to hinder. And people will serve their corp, not God, to help. They will serve their organization, their multi-billion-dollar company. They will do whatever they can to prove their allegiance to any either entity other than good orderly direction. Now, I live in New Mexico. New Mexico is, I consider New Mexico the 52nd state in the nation because it is so shitty and it is run so crappy that it is below. It is like, there's only 50 states in the United States. I know education has slipped a lot. That's another reason why the administration of this country needs to be gravely punished, because you owe a whole bunch of freaking people on this planet their childhood that you have taken away from perpetuating storylines of bullshit. And then they continue to do it. I laugh at those people at Texas. We're migrational animals. We're animals with thumbs. Human beings are mammals. We're animals, right? And yet and birds migrate, elk migrate, deer, elk migrate, all these animals migrate from north to south, and over here they travel around. They're nomadic beings. So are humans. But what do fucking humans do? Let's put up a wall. Let's put up borders. And you can come in, but you can't come in. It's fucking hilarious how it's okay. Spend all your money. Go to Cozumel. Go freaking to Mexico all day long, America. Go down, but have Mexico come in here, and no, there's a right way and a wrong way. People that freaking do everything the wrong way are telling people that. It's freaking laughable. Come here. We're not going to do long walk around. what, man? I've grown up in a lot of environments where people tell me cliches. They just regurgitate other people's words because they're not smart enough to come up with their own stuff. So I used to go to a lot of recovery meetings. I was friends with Bill W. Years and years I went to meetings and talk about my experience and strength and hope. And, you know, I don't want to act like I used to when I was doing all those, with that alcohol and stuff like that. I was never big into drugs much. And people would say things like, you know, the people would tell me, Marge, you know, like, I'd be like, they push my buttons, and then they'd say things like, why do you have buttons? And I'm like, so I just supposed to go around, let anybody treat me however they want, turn the other cheek? Is that what I'm supposed to do? And people would be like, yeah. You know? And I'm like, I don't really think that is my role in life, is to be a doormat, you know? But like attracts like. See? That's why my channel will never be huge, because I am a strong person. And there is so much weakness on this planet. There are people that have never stood up for anything that they believe in personally. They are supporting and endorsing shit that other people told them that they need to believe in. I want people to come up with their own conclusions. Where are the rest of my brothers and sisters in arms that are willing to stand up like me and say, don't let your loved ones enlist in the military? It's bullshit. We have no reason. I was just talking to the dude that drove the tow truck. I said, we've been going and killing people in places we have no business in since Vietnam. Since they figured out there's a word that was made up. It's called democracy. Now, we need to put this word in other regions of the country, democracy. And in the name of that word, let's kill them? Are people fucking retarded? That's the dumbest shit I ever heard. They aren't doing it right. Let's go kill them. That is the mentality of the administration of the United States of America. Were people taught that murder is wrong? Murder is wrong. In case you didn't get the memo, murder is wrong. In the name of anything. Especially in the name of your limp dick. So, here we are. There's no point in getting people to get ready. We're past that. It's here. The perpetual wave of bullshit is here. So now, best case there, what we can do is talk about, you know, oh, look at how the insanity is ensuing there. Look how there's no emotional control there. Look how they're still worshiping their false for profits. 'Cause Super Bowl's coming up. Gotta worship the false for profits. Homeless people everywhere. Kids on the street get kicked out by their mom and dad because you know what? They hit 18. My work is done. I'm not spending another dime on you. You know, you don't act right. You're not the kid that I signed up for. No place for them to go. No place for throwaways to go. I've been a throwaway in my life. That is why I stand here in my adamancy. And I will continue to do so. Because the plastics just aren't getting it. They think that people live on the street. They want to live on the street. It's a choice they're making. That's what they think. People that have never freaking had to worry about anything have not jock shit to say about people that have always taken care of themselves. And so now there's this big old huge imbalance. I'm so freaking over freaking famous people, all of them. And I live in New Mexico. They like to make movies here. That's where Alec Baldwin shot and killed that woman. Don't point good people, not even in pretend. I was taught that when I was 2-3 years old. You don't even point a stick at somebody at a plane. You don't point your finger at somebody. It's all bad juju. It's people that go, I'm going to control and not allow. I think it's cute that all those people are showing up at the border. And they're big old trucks. America, America. Why don't you take the spoon out of yourself? Go home, try and find some physical fitness, some spirituality. Try and believe in something outside of your own, chasing your own dangle holes. Start freaking learning about things that you don't want to learn about, but it makes your mind expand. You know, it fixes things in your local environment, and that'll spread out. It will. That's another thing the tow truck driver and I said, no, we're past. Yeah, I said, now it's just about community. And I am for people that aren't for everybody. I'm not. I was saying, you know what? I think I finally found a word. Because when I was in high school, they had like the anarchist cookbook and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh, they hate, the government's here to help. That's the attitude I had. They're here to make sure that everybody falls in line. Because that's what I was told. And I was just being a little parrot too. The reality that I have found out as I evolved on this planet is that it takes taking resources to kill than to get this country to thrive. Anybody that perpetuates that, they need to be removed. They need to be removed. And for people to consider, I love how people like act. I'm an actor. I'm an actress. I go to Hollywood. People give me lines. I read them. I pretend like I'm somebody else. If that is not the ultimate freaking definition of fake ass shit, and then they come out and they say, okay, I do that, but I really have my own thoughts and my own beliefs. So vote for this guy. Because if you like me and my movies, we're the same, and I say that he should be, so you should be like me and vote for who I say. It's a circle jerk of greed, and if you don't know what a circle jerk is, go look it up for yourself. I don't know exactly when this country began to stray so much. I stopped paying attention after my enlistment. I just wanted to just live my life out, and I don't want anything to do with politics, all that reindeer games, all the military. It's stupid, people supporting their family in death and destruction in other countries is deplorable. And then your little Timmy or Jimmy or Sarah comes back because they're like, shit, there's no threat here. We are the threat. They're shooting at us because they are from here and they are defending their land. And then now more and more people are figuring out that the Taliban and all that stuff wouldn't have existed if America wouldn't have funded it. I'm so happy that people are waking up to this stuff. But where are the rest of my brothers and sisters in arms that I was Oh, they're all on their compounds, living in their houses. They don't want to bite the hand that feeds them. They are serving their demigod by not speaking out. I was in the freaking, but that's just what you get with people with lack of accountability. When they have nothing else to do. And how many people enlist because they got no other choice. That's why I enlisted. I was 25 when I went in. I'm like, dude, I said, when I talked to the recruiter, I said, you don't gotta lie to me. You guys everybody knows the recruiters lie. They tell you anything. Oh yeah, you can get stationed where you want. You could, they'll tell you whatever, just as long as you sign your name on that dotted line. I guess the guy, I don't know if this is true or not, but the truck driver said that, like, they're giving people cars and stuff now to enlist. Corvettes and shit. He said Corvette. I'm like, I can't fucking stand Corvette people anyway. Anybody, yeah, that's how I am. Like, you drive a Corvette, you are lumped in with everybody else that drives a Corvette, and everybody I've ever met that has driven a Corvette is a douche. I'm not saying everybody that drives a Corvette is a douche. That is not what I said. I said everybody that I have met that has ever driven one is a D-bag. Now, people that could drive a Corvette could have been the one that passed me up and picked me up, when I was a pedestrian, or, they could have done the favors to help me change my mind that not everybody, that this is just an example. But they don't help anybody. I haven't met them. I've been around a lot. And I look at people like that drive Jeeps. Heaps of creeps drive Jeeps. They are a vibrational frequency. Self-serving, over-serving others. These Rubicons and shit like that, dude, those crack me up. Cracks me up seeing those. Oh, you okay, sweetie? You okay? What's the matter? You fall down? You fell? Where'd you fall? You're not awake yet, honey. You want to go to the bathroom? You okay? Yeah. You fell down? It's okay. Come over here.
You have got the sweetest mom.
I got away from time. I was doing a video. No, it's not. You didn't do. No, Mom. You're my priority, not YouTube. You fell down? Or did you just start to trip? Okay, you didn't fall down. You caught yourself? Make you some eggs and food. Let me finish my talk, okay? You want to sit back here? It's not as bright. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're all sleeping. Okay, Mom's up. Morning, Mom. So, like attracts like. So people that lack integrity hate me. People that freaking see, because I ended up in Salem, Oregon, or from Salem, Oregon, in Taos, New Mexico. My brother said I have four dogs when I had disposable income. I have 4 rescue dogs that all came from the Basset Beagle Rescue of the Heartland. I had a good job, I lived in Omaha, everything was great, and then I moved to Oregon, and then everything flipped and changed. And so I said, this is really funny. I talked to my dad the other day, and I told him I got to say this because I keep things inside, and then I have to process them. Well, I'm just gonna do that less. So when we were in high school, Mom had a stroke. I was 15. My brother turned 18. He was already getting ready to graduate, and he didn't care about us anymore at that point. And I said, when we had to move Oregon, when my last landlord at the last place said, you got 45 days to move out because I want my adult son to move back into the house, and because it will look bad if I move in with my boyfriend, which I want to do, but I can't have my adult son who's 27, 26 to tag around, because my boyfriend might think less of me because I made this little mama's boy that can't take care of himself. So you need to go. And so I said, brother, please help. Please help me find a place to live for me and mom, closer to you and the girls. It'll be good for mom to be around her granddaughter, and stuff. And he said, Marge, when we were in high school, we made a deal that you take care of mom and I take care of dad. Well, my brother hasn't upheld his end of the bargain. He hasn't. He didn't, he's had opportunity to, yep. So just another way, people's words are shit. People that don't have integrity don't like people that have integrity because they might be held accountable and they just want to go around, do whatever they want, whenever they feel like it, without having to answer to anybody and without having any kind of consequence. They just go out and around and act around like, out of spite. So for 7 years I've been doing YouTube videos, and I see other people who are portraying a role like they're a person of integrity. So I reach out to these people, right? Because I recognize something within them that comes from integral place, right? But then, because like attracts like, but then they see me and they're like, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with her. I don't want to collaborate with her. I don't want to talk with her. They say, oh, she has such a big heart, but I'm not going to have her on my channel. Because these people are fucking frauds. And they're frauds. They're acting in one way, but the reality of it is, inside they're little bitches that aren't people of integrity. Because if they were, they would recognize it in me as I recognize it in them. But see, I'm not always right. And the older I get, the more often I'm wrong. So don't take my word for gospel or anything like that. But hey, even a clock is wrong twice a day. But I'm not, or even a clock is right twice a day. I said that all backwards. I'm trying to find the people that are accountable. I'm trying to find the other people like me that say, you know what? I was wrong. What is it? And not just saying that I was wrong, not saying I'm sorry, because usually when people say you're sorry, the person that you're saying you're sorry to, chances are they're probably thinking, yeah, you sure are sorry. Saying what you're, saying how you're wrong, and then changing the behavior so you don't continue to do things over and over that you're wrong for? Is that a thing? I kind of feel like the world is starting to move to a place that might be a little bit more comfortable for me. But first, it's going to be real uncomfortable for a lot of people. And at this point, you need pats or circles. You going to be okay? Should have learned how to self-soothe instead of buying all that external shit to fill your fucking empty holes. I'll go to Super Bowl because it'll make me feel good. And look at all the other people that are going to feel good. You ever mold an old lady up the road that you don't know? You saw her lawn was all overgrown, but she can't do it herself. You ever go down and help her? How many people have it? Look at all the overgrown yards. A community is only as good as it treats its elders and its animals. And this country has failed miserably in a lot of counts. And as I was talking with Sav this morning, I said, we've been going in plant lands and killing people in places since Vietnam we got no business being in. And now this country is going to have to bend over and take the karma in which it deserves. Are you a slackjaw? You know, something happens, you drop your jaw, slackjaw? Or are you a clincher? Because if you're a clincher, hang on, you might lose a tooth. I learned that when I was 10 months old. Be a slackjaw. So when things happen, you relax. You know? People tense up. My dad was he'd tighten his jaw. I could see it whenever. I'm like, why did the courts make me go see this man? He hates me. Because every time I was around him, he'd just be like, and he'd just always be correcting my behavior. Always. Don't do that. Slow down. What's wrong with you? I'm just like you, Dad. So, we are here at the collective wave of bullshit. I'm just going to watch. My buddy Carl, we were messaging yesterday. What did he say? Was this the perfect analogy? I said, well, here we go. It's hitting the fan. And he's like, yeah, but, you know, he's like, we're not even at the tip of the iceberg yet. I mean, I don't believe the numbers of the imposed population is anyway. I don't think the earth is what they tell us it is. I don't know what it is. I haven't gotten all the evidence, but it's not what they told us it is. And so I just know that there's a lot of information out there that people have kept to themselves, and fuck them. Be damn them. They all, you know, how dare you? How dare you profit and benefit and cause so much harm to the rest of the population of the world, whatever it is. It ain't 7 billion. I mean, how many people died in the last 3 years and they're still saying it's 7-8 billion? People aren't having kids with all the queers and shit. People aren't having his kids as much, you know, with all the freaking, you know. And then there's even the straighties. They don't even, a lot of young people, they're going to be living with their parents until they're in their 20s and 30s because of the way the world is. So there ain't a lot of procreating going on. I live in New Mexico. Let's see. Look at this. Oh, the clouds are here because they've been fucking spraying shit in the sky all for freaking 2 days. And I was looking at, what did Carl say? He said, I said, I'm just going to keep my head down. You know, I'm just going to be a spectator for this next little while. He said, it's like the difference between watching a boat sink and being on a sinking boat. And that's what America's sinking. See? And you got these people that are like, no, it's not. America's the freaking Titanic. It's not going down with their little cups and their... No, everything's great. There's a lot of freaking people saying that the elections aren't even going to happen this year. And I don't even care because I don't believe in any of the political system of this country. Because money wins. I know who this country serves, and it ain't good orderly direction based on how every community treats its elders and its animals. So I mean, all these people are getting paid to say, we care, but we care. You don't even answer your fucking phones. We'll send an email. Technology's fallible because it's made by people, and people are fallible. But what do I know? I'm just a little retarded girl, autistic woman that has learned how to play games enough to get by in the system only so I could get through it and tell everybody what the system actually is. And when people hate me because they get their pay, they serve the system. Their allegiance is to a beast. Corporations are a non-entity beast. That its heartbeat based on the frequency of its employees. And look at all the beasts that are trimming the fat, that became the beasts that they are because the employees made them that, and then they're like, we're going to take our earnings and look at all the layoffs. There's no loyalty. That's another reason why people won't watch my channel, because loyal people will. I'm loyal. Loyal attracts loyal. Disloyal people, they don't like loyal people. So hopefully Suburban. I should be getting a call. They're just gonna do a pressure test. You know, one day I'm gonna have a shop. I'm planting the seeds. I'm gonna have a place where the poor people can go, you know, and work on their own car, and the young people can go, you know. We got a lot of work to do. Well, I want to see driving schools. I want to see where people can go, you know, and not learn how to drive like an asshole. Because I can't believe, Mom, there's this new thing, like these parents, you know, they spoil their kids so freaking bad. They buy in these really expensive race cars, you know, and trucks. And then when the kid is with the parent, you know, they learned long time ago how to be the person their parents wants them to be so that they can get the big trucks and stuff like that. They play them. They manipulate them. And so they get their stuff, and then this is how you drive, nice and slow. And as soon as they ditch the parent, then the real them comes out. And then they start driving, you know, and being unsafe and not, you know, impractical, all that stuff. And then their parents are like, no, not my little boy. Oh no, he would never. You know? Hi, pretty girl. Oh yeah, he do. You know, there's all these different realities. There's who I present on here is who I am in real life. You can ask anybody in the community that deals with me. I'm not a big fan of freaking assholes though. So I know it's hypocritical. I'm contrarian, but I out asshole the asshole. So when someone's being an asshole, I do what they're doing more so that they can see what an asshole I am, but I'm just doing what they're doing worse. It's fucking hilarious, man. People are like, durr. I freaking love it, man. It cracks me up. So, you know, I don't strike first blood. I don't strike first blood. There's an old movie, I'm like Marge Bow. There used to be Rambo, I'm Marge Bow. You know, don't send me off to war, I'll tell you what. Only John Rambo, he kept his mouth closed. See, we're all these people telling other people like me, don't let your kids enlist. It's bullshit. You're not defending shit. You're getting hazardous duty pay. When I say duty, I don't mean D-U-T-Y. I mean D-O-O-T-I-E. Duty. Hazardous duty, because what you're doing is dutiful. You know? And then you got these guys. How many people do you know that did like 2 years as like a military police and then went back and worked in their own police department? You know? Because it's a mentality. If you're willing to do what the bros do, you'll get a lot of perks. Do what the bros do. Be a douche like the bros. And then you'll get new cars and new SUVs. And you go around and do whatever you want. And then you go into this restaurant and they give you free food. And then sometimes this restaurant, they'll come down bringing all these free meals. What happened? Crime rate went up because police got all fucking fluffy. I didn't make them do it. Hey, you! Officer! Sit down! Stuff your face! Over and over, and don't ever exercise. fucking break. Where are the police to stop me from getting fucking raped as a 10-month-old baby? So all the police and all the land and crime is still at an all-time high? Does that mean people are not doing their jobs, or are they doing their jobs? I've said so. Let me know. Okay. Oh, it's so unclear. It's so unclear to me. Please clear up the murk for old Marjo. Please clear up the murk. It's muddy murky in here. Tell me what I ought to believe. A man in a red suit? If you're good. I saw a talk tick video the other day that the kid was using okay, if I'm good, oh shoot, if I'm not good, then freaking, that Santa's not gonna, it's a tool of manipulation. Get your, I was like, what if parents couldn't have kids if they were gonna, let them grow up to be anybody other than the person that child was supposed to be? Like, you can't have kids if you're going to influence them and set the course of their life and make them do what you want to do. How many people wouldn't have kids? How many people's kids are supporting the adult's lifestyle? How many people's you know what I mean? It's like there's all these people, it's like, take care of the kids, but it's like, but look at all the people that profit from kids being harm coming to kids. I guess we're going to have to get to a place on this planet where money's not going to matter more than than sacrificing human beings. Because keeping your money in the bank while so many people don't have socks, can't buy a toothbrush, I mean, they don't got a roof on, and they don't have, I'm not even being a jerk, but they don't even have the mental capacity to figure out how to get these things. They don't know how. They just, it kills me. It's just so many kids. Their parents they never want. I know that feeling because my parents didn't. I was a mistake. And they always treated me that way. I remember just saying, Mom, why didn't you just have an abortion? And she said, 'cause I'm Catholic. 'Cause both of my parents hated me. They didn't know what to do with me. Mom had a better idea, but then Mom changed after her head injury. So her priorities were never really fixed. It was always on survival, but it wasn't necessarily that was what was best, but survival ultimately was best, But still, for the mind of a child, we went through situations that were detrimental to, well, for me, to having personal relationships with other people. Because I'm so good at being alone that as soon as I see a red flag, unless it's a pretty face. I'm a sucker for a pretty face. I've let, men and women, not in a section, I'm not talking in in a sexual mean, because people talk too much. They rely too much on, people care too much about sex. It's stupid. I can't, people, that's another thing. What if the world was people only did it if they were gonna, with the sole intention of having children and procreating, right? What if that was a thing, right? I didn't want to have kids. I never wanted kids. And I'll tell you why. I never wanted kids because when I was 14, 15, And I was put in unsafe situations because of choices mom made. There were times that I looked at her and I'd say, I hate you. And I meant it with every cell in my body. And the idea of carrying a baby for 9 months, and boo, and oh, you're so cute, and all that stuff, only for that child to grow up and look at me, part of me looking at me, saying, I hate you. That's not an experience that I chose to have in this incarnation. I love the youth. I love children and what they bring to the table. We're supposed to be learning from them, not breaking their brains to think like this broken system and compliance. And I see a world where astrology comes into it, it's like those old career, like like you take a test and then they say you'll be a good interior designer or auto mechanic, right? What that we can, and then have different centers of education for frickin', because like I would have loved to have been able 4 or 5 years old to have been in auto shop. Like if I would have started then, I would be a machine. I love seeing all these little kids. See, the way I look at it is there's a big old source. And any thought, any freaking anything that could ever exist is in that source. And when babies are born through the mother is the escort into this earthly realm, and babies come directly from that source, and they know because they just came from source, and they're here to tell us. Source said, go like this, act like this, put trees everywhere where everyone can eat, stop poisoning people, source says. But then the freaking control freaks, they said, no, you be like everybody else. Shut that up. We don't want to hear from source. We want you to do, be a lizard. Do what do what you're told. Be compliant. And then we shut down their creativities, and then we will never have heaven on earth because we're not listening to source, the bringers of source through the young ones. And I see a world where that changes. For a while it's just gonna be weird, but where I live it ain't too bad. Things are pretty kind of okay where I live. There's that Will Survives guy, the kid that freaking I guess he's on TikTok, or he's on YouTube now. I think he left TikTok. I don't know what exactly his situation is. He's 21. 21-year-olds, man. I just remember where I was when I was 21. I was drinking all the time. This kid's building freaking cabins in the woods, but he lived in Oregon, right? I'm like, this is a cool kid. I see people that I'm like, I met the kid before. And it's not before, it's that I'm gonna. I did the same thing with Nora and Obi Dog, I've done it with people. I was like, it's like it's a trip, but time ain't it don't go from backwards to forward. It goes from all the way around, and it's so crazy. But now he's in New Mexico. And so today I kept asking him, he's in a live. He has lots of people on his live, like 350, like he had a lot of people. Anyway, but he I kept asking, like, where. I know he's in New Mexico. He moved there not too long. Because I find people come across my radar. I don't follow a lot of people. That's another reason why other people will not. I will never have large numbers because I don't follow a lot of people, and like attracts likes. So people aren't going to follow me. The thing of it is once you watch somebody, they come up in your algorithm. And so you don't got to follow them. I don't want people to follow me. Because not everything what I say is for them. You know, I might have a message for them in this area, but they can't they don't agree with me in all these other areas. But the whole world, it's like you got to agree with people 100% before they're looked at as a positive in your life. Like if somebody brings any contradiction at all, that not gonna allow that negativity in my life. If that isn't a spiritual bypassment, I don't. That's freaking lame ass shit. But anyway, I've ran on long enough. I just want to come on and yammer. Actually, I could probably go longer, huh? I might do what that one guy does. I like that he does lives and then he deletes his videos. I might do that so like people can just catch me when I'm live, and then I'll take the video down. So whatever I say, I can't get strikes. That might be a thing to consider. I like that guy. See that guy? I feel like I've hung out with him before, you know? Like he's in Kentucky. But I'll invite all these people to my birthday party, see if they show up. I'd invite never mind, what am I gonna say? I got a filter? What? I was gonna say it, but I'm not gonna say it. Anyway, I know that the people, like, the energy is really potent out right now. It is. I need to be more more empathetic to other people and their energies, because a lot of people are struggling because they don't know. But I'm here to tell you, if you feel like that you're hooked up to like a battery, like you're juiced is what I call it. You don't like it, like I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like the juice feeling. Go put your feet. I'm gonna go do it when I get off the talk here. I gotta clean up dog poop too. Put your feet in the earth and let the earth absorb some of that electricity. That we're getting. We're like human beings are like little atoms, and like the sun is going is blasting, which is like creating an environment to raise the Schumann resonance. And then because cooperation is nature's way, like everything is in agreement, right? Like customer service, it used to be an agreement where I have this much money, I need this done, like I'm gonna go in and have this done. Can you do what I need for this much money? Yeah, we can do that. That's not even the thing. Like people make up, I swear they like make up prices for whoever they're, there's no set prices, right? But the person that's setting the prices is that they have all this pathology and psychology that designates who they're going to help and who they're going to hinder, right? Instead of just treating everybody the same. You just never know what you're going to get. Like, I could call an office, ask, go through, like, tell me your policy on this and your procedures on how to go about this. And they go through and they tell me, and okay, you got to do this, and then you got to do this, and then you got to do this and this and this, right? And then you hang up, you call back, you get a different person, ask them the same thing. They work in the same place, you get different answers. And that's partially because it's all to do with their personalities, on how they interpret the data in which they're receiving. And then, furthermore, how they're going to take that data and then, is it junk in, junk out? And when people eat junk, that's their filter. Everything's junk. I do see more people giving a crap about themselves, so maybe it'll change. I just hope it doesn't perpetuate so far past the point that, they just get so egomaniacal. That's it's like, there's a balance. Everything, there's a balance. And the whole world is imbalanced. Because it's going through its own ascension. It's going through its own, it's revealed. I mean, it's getting its own truth revealed, to it. And we're just freaking fleas on a dog. That's all human beings are. I think it's so funny. Like, I'm gonna build my house. I'm gonna put. I always had an idea of how I wanted my life, and this place matches that. So I'm gonna create my vision and put this house here. Right? That, like, how many people around the world have done that? And then I look around, and then I'm like, ooh, shouldn't have put it under that hill because there's landslides all over the place. But they don't care because they have an idea, a reality, a perception of life and how they want to live it. And the earth is like, I don't care about your beachfront property because when I'm ready, because think about who all gets the beachfront like, that's no kind of karma, huh? It's like people have the best of the best of the best, and they still aren't even content enough with themselves to spread that to, people that could really use it, regardless of their economic background, the color of their skin, yeah, who they sleep with, what weird shit they're into, I'm a monogamous person. I'm a one-woman woman, and I don't even know who the woman is. But you know what? I live my life away that if I ever do cross her path in this incarnation, if ever we do meet, that I will be able to tell her that I was faithful even without her presence. That I don't know who she is for me. I just know who's not. Thanks for hanging out. That's all about all I got for now. Hope you